make this work is through some sort of integration. There's two types of integration. There's real-time integration and there's batch integration. The solution that we have built and have blended between two Microsoft applications happens to be a real-time solution. And I believe we've got both a couple of customers on the line who are already using our solution and some prospective customers. So when we opened up for questions, I'd be interested in the dialogue that happens there. Another thing we want to make sure of when we talk about integration is providing the best customer shopping experience that you can. Again, if you've got the right information at the point of sale when a customer walks up, whether they have the item in hand that they want to buy or they're looking to buy it but can't find it in your particular location, you want to be able to find it real quick. You want to be able to find that information within the organization. Again, whether it's in another retail store or it's in a warehouse, you need to have that information there so you can, again, make sure that the customer has the best shopping experience that they can. Also, where this becomes important is on the web, and integration between your store, your back office, and your website is also mission critical for retailers, especially during the holiday season. If you have you've only got one chance to make a first impression, and if that information that that customer needs is not available to them readily, they're going to move on to your competitor. Drive consumers to your other channels. If you have company or customers that are shopping in your stores and again, they have a great experience, they're going to go home and they're going to consider buying from you from their homes. They're going to consider buying from you on the web. Again, we just talked about the importance of making sure you have the right information available to consumers in all channels is mission critical to retailers. Customer loyalty. We want to make sure that customers continue to buy from you and, again, all of your channels. We've got some solutions that we've built, again, around customer loyalty where you can leverage that information, again, integrating or connecting the dots, as we like to call it, customer information throughout all of your channels. So if you've got customers who buy at your stores, you want to recognize and reward them for their loyalty. If that customer turns around and goes home and, again, buys from your e-commerce site, you want to recognize and reward them for their loyalty. If they place an order through a catalog and pick up the phone and call you, you want to recognize and reward them for their loyalty, so on and so forth. Again, this is all part of integration and connecting those dots amongst all of your selling channels. And at the end of the day, for the financial folks in the business and for other operation personnel, a 360-degree of your view of your business is also mission critical. You've got to know what's selling well in your various channels. You want to know what customers are buying from you in multiple channels. You want to know not just who your top 10 or 100 customers are. You want to know how to turn the 80% of your customers that are only buying from you once into loyal customers throughout, again, the multiple channels that you sell through. So let's talk a little bit about some of the solutions that we blended in this way we've just talked about. So one of the solutions that we have for point of sale is a product from Microsoft called Microsoft Retail Management System. We refer to it as RMS. And RMS is a solution that has been around for quite some time. Microsoft acquired the product back in 2002. It currently has 50,000 companies running this product. And this product can be run in multiple languages and with multiple currencies. It can run standalone, meaning you don't necessarily have to have a back office system to integrate with RMS. There's many, many customers throughout the world that are running RMS in a standalone environment. However, most of those companies are either one location retailers or only have one selling channel. If you are running RMS in a multi-location, multi-channel environment, we highly encourage you to integrate that solution to a back office product. The solution that we have with RMS, the integration is integrated at various levels, and we'll talk about that in a second. RMS is a very cost-effective solution. It's very easy to deploy. We've done many implementations remotely. I think one of our clients who we've actually never met is on the call today, and we were able to deploy their solution in both training and implementation standpoint remotely. And we can train people very quickly on this application. You'll see the user interface is is very simple, easy to use, again, which makes training retail staff and store management fairly easy. The other solution that's in the back office, which is actually the brains of the solution, is a product from another Microsoft product called Microsoft Dynamics NAV. It's formerly Navision, which was also acquired by Microsoft in 2002, and it's got lots and lots of users worldwide. I actually think my stats are a little outdated. It's probably got more, close to 1.5 million users worldwide. It's a product that, again, being a worldwide application, is multilingual, multi-currency, multi-company, and multi-location. When I refer to a multi-company environment, it means if you've got multiple companies running on the same database, if you've got a franchise model in place, or you've got owner-operator type environments, NAV is a great solution for that, because we can actually set each company up as a separate financial entity or legal entity, all within the same database. It also supports multiple locations. So again, whether you are a multi-location retailer, or you've got multiple locations for retail and you've got warehouses that support those retail stores, you can manage that all centrally from within NAV. NAV is the central hub, again, in our model here that we're referring to, for all retail operations. So finance, accounting, inventory, costing, pricing, customers, bank rec, warehousing. If you have a manufacturing solution in place, which again, one of our clients on the phone today, or the webinar, has full manufacturing, it's all one solution and can all support a retail operation. And again, the accounting side of things for the stores, everything feeds back into NAV, and you can do your reconciliation, your bank, your cash management, cash receipts, and again, post all of that information to your general ledger. This is just a quick kind of overview of what things look like without integration. So up here, I'm kind of hovering my mouse around the top left here, what things look like when we don't have integration. We've got disparate data, centers here. We've got store operations and stores, and then there's no integration to the head office. So what this means here when there's no integration is there's duplicate entry of data, which means retailers are spending more money without integration. When you blend these two solutions, you can see that things mash up fairly nicely. We've got head office talking directly to your stores, and that store information gets sent to each individual location. And again, this is just showing what stores look like. If you've got e-commerce and other selling channels, just imagine that these kind of line up after 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 here. With the ability to manage multiple locations centrally, you can enter information in once into your head office, which in this case would be Microsoft Dynamics NAV, and that information flows properly with the right pricing, the right item numbering, the right costing, the right availability to all of your selling channels. Second here? Okay. So important data elements that should flow in terms of considering integrating retail and back office products is the list that we've kind of shown here. I'm kind of outlining here what the flow looks like in the model that we have. So we'll kind of go through these one by one here. So you've got sales data that will flow from your point of sale into Dynamics NAV. And what that means is when you sell a product to a customer, whether you capture their information or not, that information flows in through RMS down to NAV. Some customers capture customer information, or some retailers capture customer information, some of them don't. If you only sell to companies, or to, consumers, and you don't know who they are, that's not a problem. We can capture the transactions through RMS, bring them into what we call a cash customer in Dynamics NAV, and that will decrement your inventory and increase your the information onto the general ledger properly. If you know who your customers are and you're actually gathering that information at the point of sale, then that information will be also transferred to Dynamics NAV by creating a customer record in the system, and then you can from there do marketing and other customer type related activities with that information. Item data is actually managed centrally in Dynamics NAV. So what that means is you set up your items in NAV, you put your pricing in, your inventory information, your descriptions, again, costing, all of that is centrally managed in Dynamics NAV and pushed to your channels. So we've got clients that currently are doing, that have multiple channels, again, where they've got wholesale, they've got retail, and they use the same item information. It's very easy to specify, you know, what quantity available goes to the stores and what stays available for wholesale. You might have situations where you've got pricing based on regions. Pricing in one location might be more or less than another location. That can all be done within Dynamics NAV and pushed out to your stores or your other selling channels. Payment information means to us what's important to the financial folks. How did this customer pay? You know, are they paying with cash? Are they paying with checks? Are they paying with credit cards? Are they paying with loyalty points? Are they paying with vouchers? How are they paying? And how is that information getting sent back to our financial system for reconciliation? All of that is automated. It goes from the transaction itself in the point of sale into Dynamics NAV, and there's no duplication of entries. So store personnel enters their transactions. The accounting folks get to see that information in real time back in the back office system. And so at any point in time you can run a report or look at a dashboard and see, you know, what the health of that location or that particular selling channel is at any point in time, right from within Dynamics NAV. I'll give the new store database configuration is a nice to have for when we're doing implementation, where if you've got multiple locations, we can create a configuration for your point of sale right from within Dynamics NAV, kind of a cookie cutter or a template, consider it that, and push that information out to the stores. So you only have to really do configuration of one location one time, and then that can be replicated to other point of sale systems. And customer information, we call it customer loyalty data, is bidirectional. So you can enter a customer into RMS, and that will appear in NAV. Conversely, you can enter a customer in Dynamics NAV and push that out to the store. And lastly, we've got a multi-store lookup, which allows you to expose any location within Dynamics NAV to a store so that they can see what availability they have in multiple locations. A couple of case studies that we'd just like to show, and I think we've got one of the folks from Stallman's on the line this morning. We did the solution for Stallman several years ago, and they went off of Microsoft Dynamics Great Plains to Microsoft Dynamics NAV, largely because of the integration that was available for retail, but also because of the other features and functions of NAV. Stallman's currently has two high-functioning retail stores. From time to time, they've got some kiosks that they put up in various malls, et cetera, that support their seasonal volume. And this company has been a great partner with us. We support their retail solution, again, and their integration, and so far so good with this solution. Got another customer by the name of Primor, who is actually, as you can see here, a multi-store, multi-channel, multilingual, multi-company specialty retailer of soft goods. This company is using our solution to its max, and we've really had a good time working with these folks. They've got a few more locations than Stallman's does. They've got up to 15 retail outlets, but they also have a website that's highly functional, and they also do phone ordering right from within Dynamics NAV. This company came off of a product called Everest POS and converted to Microsoft Retail Management System as well as Dynamics NAV, and we've been continuing to do work with them on increasing and enhancing their solution. So with that, let me just jump over to our environment here, and we're going to do a quick review of the solution. So what you're looking at now is the Microsoft Retail Management application. I won't go through this in great detail because this is mostly for integration. But what we're going to do here is we're going to set a customer in the point of sale. And what setting a customer means is adding a customer to a transaction. So this customer pops up, and you can see some additional information that appears here. There's some loyalty points and value that's been assigned to that. We won't get into loyalty later. You can join our loyalty webinar at 10 o'clock this morning if you'd like to know more about that. We're going to look up an item. We're going to sell a lamp. Real exciting, selling a blue lamp. And I'm going to go ahead and quickly process the transaction here. This again is a loyalty window that pops up that prompts you to ask your customer if they'd like to either A, join your loyalty program, or B, or B, join your email newsletter. We're going to skip, for the purposes of this demo, skip the loyalty stuff and process the transaction. This is saying what this customer has in terms of discounts and loyalty programs that they are assigned to, and what the value of that will be for this particular transaction. I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and I'm going to simply enter the exact amount of cash for this transaction. I do so by hitting the Shift+ button on my keyboard, and that processes the transaction immediately. Very quick transaction processing, as you can see. I'm going to hop over to Dynamics NAV, which is the back office solution again that we've been talking about. I'm going to go ahead and click the Outstanding Transactions table, and you can see already this morning, right now, we've been able to process that transaction for the blue lamp. Just that quick. Again, it's about as real time as you can get. Let's do another transaction here where we're going to set another customer. Oh, sorry, I didn't do that right. Got to go through the loyalty so we can assign that. I'm going to do another one to the touch points customer. I'm going to flip back over to Dynamics NAV just so that you guys can see that the last transaction we did was for the blue lamp for $4.05. Okay. Next one I'm going to do is I'm going to sell a red lamp. Okay. Do the same thing. Skip and continue a sale. Click OK. Shift+, do a quick transaction. I'm going to pop over to myztro through NAV, which is our integration tool. And we're going to wait for a second here, and this will come through. There it is. So there's the next transaction that came through for the red lamp. Just that fast. All right. Let's go back to our presentation. I think at this point, let's open it up for questions.
I'm going to go ahead and everyone, if you have questions, go ahead. Does anyone have any questions for us? I hear some rustling, but not.
People are multitasking.
Okay, well, if no one has any questions, we'll go ahead and conclude this webinar. Join us at our next webinar at 10 o'clock for Customer Loyalty by Be Loyal. And thank you for attending today.